Broadcasting live from inside the power band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, the Moverine, also known as Cousin of Knife of Cobra, along with my intrepid companions. Ben is damn near Porkins.
Hey.
And
I'm not used to answering to that yet.
It's all right. It's okay. And of course, Chad is now Porkins.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the show, folks. This week, we're talking about the 1987 classic. This is definitely a classic. And that's going to be the Western Young Guns, starring most of the Brat Pack, Terry O'Quinn, Terrence Stamp, Jack Palance, John Wayne's son, and a bunch of other people. Let's get into it. Hi, Lev.
And Tom Cruise.
And Tom Cruise, secretly.
I didn't remember this movie at all. I definitely watched the shit out of both of these back in the day. Probably more so the second one, but because I'm
interesting.
I'm your young cousin who likes Darkwing Duck or whatever.
Johnny Come Lately, yeah, totally.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was enjoyable. It was I found it like kind of all over the place a little bit.
Yes.
Which I kind of didn't really. I just, at the time that this came out, I didn't
Chaotic.
pay attention to movies. I just didn't really like know who the actors were, and I just didn't give a shit. I just like would watch shit on TV or whatever. So it didn't really touch the sides, but it's just, it's really all over the place, but it was fun. As Kev plays with the controls in Zoom.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Ben, you want to go next? Or you want me to?
Sure, I'll go. It had been a very long time since I'd seen this. I think I probably saw it several times, around the time it came out. I didn't see it in the theater. Probably it was on HBO or, we rented it and copied it or something.
Skinamax.
The only thing Skinamax. Blow time. The only...
I've never heard that.
I just made it up.
I like it.
Good one.
The only thing I remembered about it was like the peyote scene.
Sure.
And that part did not disappoint, but otherwise, funny, yeah. I don't know. I really didn't enjoy it. It wasn't what I thought it was. Like I don't know. It was very chaotic and all over the place. Yeah. And, I just like I couldn't understand why everybody was getting behind Emilio Estevez. Like I thought he did a great job, but like he was kind of a fucking reckless asshole. And,
he's a fucking wanker.
Yeah, I didn't remember it being like that, so I was like, Like I just remember seeing and thinking like, oh yeah, they're really good, still badass or something, when I was like a teenager or whatever. And now I'm watching and I'm like, this damn irresponsible kid is going to get everyone killed.
He's going to shoot his eye out.
Darn it. Now you're like fucking Ned Flanders. Well, sir.
Totally.
Yeah. I'm so that's where I'm at. Like that's how I'm feeling about it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, we're all riding in the same fishing boat because
we're on the same wagon train here, guys.
I remember it being really cool. Now I own a copy of this movie, and I wouldn't say I watch it every year, but I watch it. Watched it a couple of times in the last 6 years, and I sat down for a full absorb, and I was like, same thing. I was like, this is really kind of convoluted, man, and there's like all these threads they're starting that are really kind of wrapping up too fast or kind of going nowhere, or they need to spend more time, so forth and so on, So I had a very similar experience to the two of you, I was like, yeah, just kind of remembering it being cooler. I was so into this movie when it came out, and I'll just kind of segue right into the unpacking part. Interestingly enough, with this little nugget, that Emilio Estevez did not like this movie. So he did the movie, and the movie came out, and he felt the same way that we did pretty much. He was like, this does not remind me. I did this Western because I love the Westerns that I grew up on, but he said, this does not remind me of like, you know, the High Plains Drifters and the John Wayne movies and all these other Westerns that he had done. So it's kind of ironic that we're having the exact same reaction to it, or a very similar reaction to it. I think that, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. I when I initially, I don't know, was digesting it, I was like, oh, I'm kind of glad that we've done this a few weeks after Carl Aguilar, friend of the show, brought Silverado to the table, because Silverado is like a meta Western, and this is probably also a meta Western. You know, it's the Brat Pack Western. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like, if you Voltron those two movies together, maybe you have a whole movie. Because we were talking about how Silverado didn't really go into the cattle boss stuff, and there wasn't much of an explanation for the cattle boss angle. And this is only has the cattle boss angle, and there's nothing else to the movie, you know? So you kind of smash them together, and maybe you've got a movie in a weird way.
In terms of story content, yeah. You know, I mean, it's funny. I watched a couple of 20 things you didn't know about Young Guns videos, right?
Number 1, don't watch this video. Get that time back.
Yeah, right. Exactly, dude. You know, they were saying in that, and I remember it one point or another, I thought the same thing, that this kind of revitalized like the Western genre. And I think, and we were talking about that in Silverado, right? But I think a lot of movies revitalized it. And we were talking about how Silverado was part of that. But like Silverado is a way better Western than this one, man. Like by a very large margin, you know? And I think that I was going to say, kind of what you were just saying, Chad, which I suddenly can't remember what you just said. But
smash the movies
together. I know I was going to talk about it. No, before that, you started saying something else.
I mean, I could see how this would be popular just because it's like, fuck yeah, action. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. This is not true, but it still feels true. It just doesn't feel like a Western. It feels like an action movie set in the West. It does have a lot of the tropes.
Yeah.
But it was just Indiana Jones stunt spectacular. It's like, coconut horse galloping Monty Python to the next bar fight, and then to the next shoot 'em up to the next shoot. There was like kind of nothing in between except for like randomly Kiefer Sutherland falls in love with a Chinese girl, which was fine, but
lots of period correct pederasty going on in this movie.
Definitely. Yeah. I think the problem with this movie is, or the problem that we have found with this movie, is that there's just too many, like in Silverado, we had some threads that didn't end up tying up. In this movie, I feel like there's a lot of threads that never really get tied up, or they just start too many threads that go nowhere, right? So this movie starts out to me in fine style, right? Like we're back in the 1800s and established location, and we know what John does, and it's almost like when Tunstall dies, the movie starts falling apart.
Definitely.
Like the movie falls apart, like they fall apart, like...
So it was on purpose.
Yeah, it's like the movie sets up a premise with Terrence Stamp's Xavier School for Wayward Mutant Kids,
Gifted Cowboys. Yeah,
like there's this thing set up there, and then it just like as soon as he dies, it just like everything falls apart.
It falls right apart, man.
Yeah. And, maybe rightfully so. Maybe that's how things would go. But, like, one would think that, like, if you're establishing this thing, then you would have these, upstanding, educated, young cowboys, like, dealing with things a little better than they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like they set up this premise, and then they're just like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. You guys need to read if you're going to take on the world. Yeah. It's like, or we could just shoot everyone we encounter. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's sort of like, I mean, to kind of take it a step further than what I said a minute ago, like, you're right in adding, is that like, it's not just that like there's story threads that kind of go nowhere. It's like there's arcs that kind of go nowhere, right? The main one, I would say, being that, one of the whole points is that they get deputized as regulators to serve 11 warrants tied to Tunstall's death. And they go and they get Henry Hill, I think that's the guy's name, in the scuzzy, teeny little bar, and he ends up shooting him in the outhouse. And then that's it. They're not really going after anybody else. All of a sudden, it's like, we're going to kill Sheriff Brady, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And let's check out the paper. Oh, wow, we're all criminals now. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't remember this being this completely disjointed, jonky, disembodied.
Nice.
Take your
Bring
pick.
Back the jonk.
You follow? Right? The jonk, man. It's
a revenge movie that has no revenge thread except for at the end when Emilio Estevez double, triple backflips into I've been planning this the whole time. It's like,
oh my God.
You just remember running around shooting people, dude.
And acting like an asshole, like Ben said, because I did. I felt like he came across as like a real wanker.
Fucking getting all your buddies killed. And at the same time being like, but pals are the most important thing ever.
Just about to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking cunt, man. He's
every time. Yeah.
He's a fucking shitty dickhead fucking cunt, man.
He's a proper cunt.
Not cool.
As our friends across the pond are so fond of saying every other word.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a proper cunt.
It's like, I think Lou Diamond Phillips sums it up so well in that scene at the end where he's just like, I don't care. And then fucking goes on to talk about how his tribe and family and whatever massacred. And he kills that scene. And
he does, dude.
I don't know. It just takes.
He's so good, man.
It's so good that it destroys Billy. You're like, all right, yeah, no, he's a cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess even. Go ahead.
But Billy and fucking Dirty Steve or whatever are just like, yeah,
Dirty Sanchez.
So what? What?
Exactly. He kills it. He crushes it. And then they're like, fucking, your tribe's dead. You're dead. Your face is stupid. Pass the beans.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck.
Your face is dead.
It's like,
what?
Navajo.
Your mom was a Navajo. It's like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. It was.
I don't know. It just,
I feel
I guess it just
exactly.
it removes all
You're
purpose.
fucking dumb Navajo. Whatever. What?
Say that again, Chad.
No, I just said it takes all the purpose out of the film. It just okay, you've got this brethren thing, we're brothers in battle, fucking bullshit Harley Davidson brother thing, and then they just shit all over it. It just shits all over it.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's just there's no cohesion.
If you're gonna be a band of brothers, then be a band of brothers. If you're gonna be a band of brothers until someone's like, yeah, I don't really feel like it. I'm just gonna leave. Thanks. See you guys later.
No, stupid.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
I mean, it's weird to think that Charlie Sheen was the voice of reason,
right?
But
I heard that too. I thought that was very interesting.
As soon as he gets iced, it's fucking game over.
It is. It's kind of like Tunstall, then him, and then the whole thing just comes undone.
That's just so the meanest guy takes over, and that's it.
And the craziest one, and then every time somebody challenges him, he goes, "What about pals?
Yeah,
let's talk about pals."
Exactly. Yeah,
you got a couple buddies. You got yourself a tribe.
An abusive parent or an abusive spouse or something. He's just a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, it sounds actually it sounds like I don't know enough about this. I kind of wish I had the drive to read about the actual scenario here. I guess it's a whole thing, the real situation. I just don't give that much of a fuck. I mean, I do, but I just don't have the time. And it's they researched the shit, and Billy the Kid isn't left-handed, and this, that, and the other, and they are actually historically accurate in a lot of ways. But then
there's a lot of accuracy here, yeah.
Yeah, but then the Band of Brothers angle is so important that they just write it in such a stupid way. we're the band of best bros that are going to take on the world together as bros. And then Dermot Mulroney and Lou Diamond Phillips are like, fuck you, fucking Mexican fuck. And he's like, I used to put a knife to your throat every night, and I'm glad I didn't. It's like, you're not even fucking friends, dude. Like, you guys fucking hate each other. The second Lou Diamond Phillips isn't in that house, Mulroney starts kicking fucking bookshelves and shit. You know, it's like, there's no cohesion to the band of brothers, let alone fucking, I don't know, Honor Among Thieves or something. I don't know. It was.
I mean, look, I'm going to give a pass to the actors. Like, I think this movie was acted well, and I love this movie. I've seen this movie 1,000 million times. I think it's this. The problem is the way the story was written, and then the way it was cut as well. You know what I mean? Because like, I almost want to take this movie and try to do a recut and see if we can make it more cohesive, man. You know, because it's like, I mean, aside from Billy's like motivation just being super thin with the whole pals thing, you know, and just too many things building too quickly. Like the whole thing with McCloskey, right? Like, so, you know, certainly when you watch the movie for the first time, like McCluskey comes and he's like, you know, we know he's from Murphy, right? But he like joins up with the gang, you know, and he doesn't get a ton of screen time. Then all of a sudden, like they go out on their first warrant and it's like he freaking blows his brains out, dude. He's like, I knew he was a fucking traitor the whole time. It's like, that would have been a cool little thread to kind of explore and give some more, you know, time to, and they didn't, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of, you know, spying subterfuge kind of thing for Murphy. Like it totally goes along with the whole Murphy Tunstall, you know, thing, you know, and it's small, and they could have spent a few minutes on that and they didn't. And then all of a sudden he's like getting his head blown off and you're like, wait a minute, what?
It's like over reliance or over focus on everyone being a tough guy, you know, like. Yeah,
absolutely. It's kind of like a gang of tough guys with no real leader, you know, like again, like, you know, when Tunstall and Dick die,
Lord
it's
of the
like
Flies,
it
whatever.
kind of comes undone. Yeah, sure. I feel like after Dick and Tunstall die, it's like Chavez is the only one kind of like holding the line. Like, we need to go west. Let's go do a peyote fucking thing. Then let's go west. Like, let's do this. Yeah. And he, you know, the way is California, and every time he says it, everybody's just like, yeah, no, I'm going to go see a hooker. No, I'm going to go to the Mexican village and get married. No, we need to go do this. No, we need to go back to the town everybody keeps telling us not to go to, Lincoln. You know, it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, just too much. Like, I liked the thread with Doc and the China doll. Like, that's a good like thread. I don't know if that actually happened, but you know, it was cool. And like, that was one of the only things that kind of wrapped up. Like, it was a small side thread, but it was like, we got to see him like try to court her with a dance. And then, you know, he sees her in the street and and in the end she runs in and you're like, oh, I want to be with you. And I don't want to be with this guy, you know, but even still, like, Palance out there screaming like, China doll, China doll, China doll, you know, like, I mean, clearly.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, clearly. Yeah, exactly. Clearly that was an important person to Palance for whatever reason. And it's just like, you know, could you give us a little more time on that? Because that would have been maybe a little bit more worthwhile too, you know, like the payoff wasn't as great, her going into the house, because there wasn't, you know, as much
all of a sudden
before that. Exactly. It's the same thing with same idea with McCloskey. It's like all of a sudden the guy gets a bullet in the brain. All of a sudden she's running into the house. There's a version of this
where Tunstall dies at the end of Act 2, not the end of Act 1.
Huh?
I feel like it's like you have the same
of movie. This movie?
Yeah, I feel like there's a version of this movie where it's like everything gets a bit more room, and like the main thread of the first bit of the movie is like Kiefer Sutherland and China Doll like trying to figure that shit out, and more pressures being put on Tunstall, and like the gang's trying to figure out how to get through this, and then there's like the surprise Tunstall death much later, you know? Like, I don't know. Because it happened so early, you got to fill the rest of the movie with like Mexican towns and stupid random shootouts in random, you know, piss-covered barns and shit.
Well, yeah, right. And like piss-covered barns, nice. I mean, the other thing too is that like you get, you know, very quickly, like they serve Henry Hill, kill him, and then I feel, I could be wrong about this, but very quickly afterward, it's like, okay, well, we got the cavalry coming from the north. We got Lincoln to the east. We got John Kinney coming from the south. And they're just like, all of a sudden, we're surrounded. What do we do? Let's just freaking ride around and act like idiots, man, which is what they do, man. They just kind of like,
they need to ride to the next town so that Billy can have a shoot him up in the bar, like it's just completely pointless.
Yeah, that was...
Like the whole point of that scene where the guy with Billy taking that dude's gun is just to show how fearless Billy is. The whole point of Billy going into the outhouse and shooting that dude in the stomach is to show how fearless Billy is. Like it's like cool, he's fearless. Who fucking cares? I just don't get,
right. But even if you wanted to play into that, if you held it back harder, then people would want to see more of it, and then you throw him another bone later on. Maybe I don't know. Like I mean. When he was in the chest, when he goes out the window, like that was pretty cool.
That was cool, But you don't don't give a shit because of all of the other, bullshit, all the other montage stuff.
And at that point, after an hour and 45 minutes, you're kind of exhausted trying to figure out what exactly is going on with this movie, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, Showdown
why
in the
are
House,
we so focused?
I don't know about you guys, but I was just kind of like, it's the classic trope. Probably that comes from the true story of this situation. I don't fucking know, but like I was just kind of like, all right, they're in a house and people are shooting. Cool. And I kind of really loved how they go through this whole, like I actually kind of laughed out loud. Like they go through this whole scene where the house and lighting the house on fire and like throwing trunks out of the house and standing in the middle of a fucking thing shooting people. And then at the end, the guy that owns the house like steps out onto the porch and they fucking light him up with a Gatling gun. Like the first time the Gatling gun is used is to light this fucking dude up. It was like, okay.
I never really thought how little sense that made until I saw it last
funny.
night.
It's so funny.
Zero. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Poor Terry O'Quinn.
Just got fucked up. I can't believe that was Terry O'Quinn. I was like, oh, dude from Lost, right on.
Yeah, I mean, he had such a big part too, man. He was such an integral character, and he was like one of the sort of anchor through lines throughout the whole thing, in my opinion, because every time they would go to talk to him, you would kind of give them some news of like how the whole thing's brewing and all that. And that kind of reminds you like, oh yeah, this is what's going on in this movie, right? This whole thing against Tunstall and fucking Murphy and whatever. I'm caring less as we talk.
Well, I kind of want to I want to revisit the second movie now. They've got a third movie in development. Do we must have talked about that?
No, we didn't, but I read about that today.
It's just like,
I was like,
it's very little information on IMDb, but it's just basically like Emilio Estevez as Billy the Kid as a 60-year-old man. It's like, what are you even talking about, bro? Like, how is that even? Like, what?
Well, which is ironic because he was in old man makeup in the beginning of the second movie.
Yeah, okay.
Doing an interview in the 50s saying, or the 40s, with the guy saying, I'm William H. Money. I was in the Lincoln War.
It's all about the pals. I don't have any. They're all dead, but man, they were good friends. I killed them all.
Let me tell you a story about pals. Yeah, so a third movie to me seems very like, Zoolander 2.
Electric Boogaloo. I kind of like it. Like, let's do it. Let's make the third movie where he just goes around talking about pals and everyone dies around him and they make a mockery of it.
Well, like, I guess Anchorman 2 would be a better analogy.
I haven't seen it, and I don't think I'll ever see it.
I don't think anybody should ever see it.
I don't think anyone
could be a scene where there's an RV with a bowl full of scorpions that flips over on the road. That actually happens in Anchorman too.
Love it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I got 20 minutes in and I turned it off. I was like, this is so completely stupid. I don't even understand what the hell's going on. Yeah, it is so bad.
Yeah. There's a whole bit where like Will Ferrell has like a shark that's like his kid, and it's fucking stupid.
Exactly.
But there's a bit where like they get the news crew together and they're like cruising in an RV, and Will Ferrell's like, what's this bowl full of scorpions for? And like immediately afterwards, they like swerve out of control and the RV flips over and it's like.
You could just imagine the writing room situation. They're like, oh yeah, let's definitely do that. Okay, man.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
It was indulgent, to say the least.
Yeah, indeed. You know, but like that's.
But not as indulgent as Young Guns 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't, you know, I think I said Zoolander in the sense that like we don't need a sequel this many years later, number one. Number two, it's gonna be like Anchorman 2, you know, if we're confused right now, I can't imagine what rewatching the second movie is going to be like, and I cannot imagine what the third one would be like. I mean, they could save the whole thing in a third movie, but I don't really get how they do it. You know?
I challenge you, sir. How would they do that?
Hey, dude, everything I just said is a bit of a stretch. Okay, so
I would love it.
I really don't.
The third movie is so good that it resolves and salvages the first two. That would be
Can you imagine that? I mean, that would be quite a feat. I don't think anybody's ever done that.
Young Guns. I love how it's Young Guns, dead or alive. Dead or alive.
Dude.
No. It's shot down in a blaze of glory.
Take me down before true.
Well, you know, the nugget about that is that he met John Bon Jovi. And he said, you know, can I put Wanted Dead or Alive in this movie, man? Because it's like, you know, so cool and blah, blah, blah. And John Bon Jovi said no. He's like, I don't really think the lyrics and the meaning of the song fit the movie, you know? Which, you know, kudos to Bon Jovi for saying that because he's so cool.
Kudos to John Bon.
But he did, you know, write the original music for the second movie, which was awesome, man. I like Blaze of Glory. It's great. At the time, I was like,
dude,
but like now I love it.
A tear rolls down my dusty face every time it comes on.
Oh, my dusty face.
You're like, pals.
You're thinking,
come on, pals, come on, pals.
Little thought bubbles come up, like meet my face and Ben's face. And
pals. But it's like a thought bubble, but it's like, it's us all dressed up like we're in the West, and it's me getting you two guys fucking killed, you know?
There you go.
Pals.
Thanks. Yeah, because we're pals. That's what pals do. They get each other killed.
The only fault of that song is it says Young Gun in the song.
Yeah, it's not.
God cool. Damn it. We pluralize our guns around here, John Bon.
Well, I mean, at least they didn't say Young Guns in the movie, because like that's the worst.
Oh my
thing.
God!
When they say the title of the movie in the movie, it's like
Yeah, but saying the title of the movie and the song is almost just as bad.
I kind of want, like, in Young Guns, too, they're like, yeah, we're Young Guns, but you guys are Young Guns, too.
But I drew first blood, I'm no one's son. Call me Young Gun.
Twangy, twangy, twang, 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 twang. Twangy, pangy, twang, bang, pang, twangy, pangy, pang, pang, pang. That's right, folks. This week you got a treat. Another EBD rendition of a song with our mouths.
Trio.
Right. Acapella mouth harp trio. That's what we're going on tour as.
It's definitely.
That is so funny, man. I mean, that would be better than this movie, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, look, I'm kind of being harsh for.
Nah, we're shitting on it. That's fine.
Pretending to be funny, like it's still a great movie, and like I'll still always love it. Like I loved it when I was younger and all that, you know. But like,
it's Hannah. I wasn't thinking this is the Hannah of Westerns.
Yeah, it kind of is, man. Like style. Silverado was great, and people got excited about it. And I think that did a better job of sort of heralding in like a new Western age. Like this movie definitely played part of that, but Silverado is a better film. And then I think 100%. The other movie that helped bring Westerns back into the fold was absolutely Unforgiven. Like when that movie came out, people freaked the fuck out. I remember not seeing it on purpose because everybody was freaking out about it. And I was like, everybody's talking about that movie. That means I will not be seeing it until much later. You know,
I mean,
like
it's
that
Eastwood,
kind of stupid
how
shit.
Can you go wrong, right?
Well, exactly, man. You know, Morgan Freeman, and you had Richard Harris was in it, and Gene Hack.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, dude, great cast. Like, so I think the whole heralding the westerns back in was a combination of movies, right? You know, and those three played their own part. But I think in terms of holding up, this movie holds up the least well. Like, it's gorgeous, man. It's crazy because it's beautifully shot. Like, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool.
Like, I honestly don't know how I felt about the kind of rocky kind of soundtrack score. You know, it was like, yeah, it was
it's
pretty
kind of
cool.
what I remember it for, though. So it was like I was expecting it.
Yeah, sure. I guess. You know, but like, there's like the costumes are phenomenal, dude. Like, the costumes are fantastic. Like,
shout
all
out
the
to
sets are
Dermot
great.
Mulroney's 7 pounds of chaw as well as part of his costume.
Dude, he did a great job,
He was
man.
so
He was
good.
like, he was so
His Dirt
110% committed. Yeah, he really was. He was so committed, dude. It was great.
He was fucking great.
You know?
Yeah, the costumes
I don't know, like,
quite good for sure.
Yeah, costumes are good. It was beautifully shot, like great cinematography. Like, all the pieces are there, you know. It's just like a little bit of story convolution and some editing, and it just kind of took it off the rails, man. You know, they should have leaned it out. Like, like a movie like that, like if you've got that many like stars in it, you know, like these guys were kids. They were like 20, 21 when they did this movie, right? And like they were all really blowing up, you know. And it's like, if you're going to have that much ego in the mix, like, again, like we keep talking about, focus on the characters and the relationships between the characters, because these guys are certainly capable actors that can do that. You know what I mean? And they didn't do that in the writing, and the movie suffered because of that, you know, and they should have leaned it out. They should have skipped all these other stupid threads. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so often a Western is like,
yeah,
there's a fucking competing cattle rancher that's an asshole. Let's go stop him. Blah, 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 bullshit. Like, all the common tropes. And what I kind of like, just looking at the poster of these dudes, you know, the deputized on the movie poster, it actually kind of reminds me a little bit of, you know, like a war movie. You know, you got the Platoon stuff or Full Metal Jacket or whatever. Like, these dudes are kind of like forging a bond or whatever. And I kind of like that they're taking on corruption here, and they want the president to come in, and, you know, it's corrupt all the way up to the governor and the military. But like, that's an interesting thing that I haven't encountered really in the Western genre. And it goes absolutely nowhere. Like, it just goes absolutely nowhere to like barroom brawl bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Because like a Platoon or a Full Metal Jacket or an Apocalypse Now is like commentary on the Vietnam War. Like, there's substance there that you're like, you know, there's substance.
Sure.
This is like the Old West is interesting, and there's corruption, and there's let's just throw that aside, and, you know,
and that's all the interesting stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting.
You can still have an action movie, and you can still have interesting things in it that are cool. Like I think this is what I was saying when we were talking about Bourne, was that like with Bourne, like there's this whole cool story there about Treadstone and all this stuff. Yeah. You know, we get to explore a little bit of that in Bourne Legacy and the other Bourne films. So, you know, it's like you have all that cool story, and then you kind of put that aside and like, well, let's focus on the action and, like, you know, some stuff that was like some quippy shit and quippy lines like today that you would call, like, you know, just sound bites. People like saying things for the sake of getting sound bites on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just not the right choice. You know, it was.
Well, the opposite is also true. The
what's that?
Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever. I'm like 6 hours into the 23-hour movie, and it's just like, I can't watch the same fucking thing happen again. You know. Right. Scorsese wankfest, you know? So, like, I'm not saying I want a goddamn 8-hour series on Young Guns, but...
No. But I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I agree with you, but, like, the source material itself is enough. It is interesting enough. And this was actually based on historical events, not like, hey, we made it up or whatever. Like, you know, the Eastwood, the you know, the Dollars trilogy. You know, like, that's not real. Like, that's not based on any historical anything, you know? So this, you've got the actual Lincoln cattle war. Like, that was a real thing. Like, a lot of these characters were actually real people. And it's like, you had such great source material. So what the hell are you doing?
Making 5 times their money, box office smash. It just doesn't hold up, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't what Emilio Estevez wanted to see.
Which is interesting considering how I always assumed that the Brat Pack was just like, kids being kids and not like actually. Like, this isn't a fair statement at all, but I just always assume the Brat Pack is just like, oh, they're talented kid actors. But they're actually like, people that take their art seriously if you get aside from the partying and drugs.
Sure.
20-year-olds being 20-year-old stuff,
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to say let's bits and bobs it to the end. What do you think?
Yeah, bits and bobs.
All right. Well, we have to talk about the fact that Dermot Mulroney had what was like a painful looking wad of jaw.
Yeah, we were just, I think your Bruce Beans came into the room. We were just commenting on that. It's so good.
Yeah, it is great.
So good.
It looked painful. Like,
it really did.
Dude. It was like,
yeah. Like when you have something in your cheek that's so large, it actually starts stretching the skin, and you're like, "Damn, this kind of hurts, man!" Like a big jawbreaker, or whatever.
You can imagine all the open sores on the inside of his mouth too. Like it was so gross.
Oh.
It just looked like a
dental
pustule,
hygiene. Yeah,
like
it did.
Like he had like a really bad abscess tooth or something.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
I mean, I fired this thing up and I was watching it and I was like, did I get is like Netflix or whatever broken? Because this looks really weird. Is this like a really fucked up stream? But it was because that opening montage is all like in the negative and there's all kinds of weird visual shit going on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So there's like that kind of weird thing going on, and then you get Dermot Mulroney like saying, his heads up, what's up moment because they're introducing everyone, and he spits, and there's like a big drip of chaw on his chin. And I was kind of like, I kind of like that they left that in, and I just kind of didn't realize just how much of a dirt burger the dude was. He's fucking, he's straight up like the dirty kid from Peanuts. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you are so
he's
dirty.
Totally Pigpen, dude.
He's fucking Pigpen.
He's totally Pigpen, man.
And I kind of am here for it, dude. Like I don't know. I have the peyote scene and Dermot are my favorite parts of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, Ben, that we were saying was just how good Dermot Mulroney was in this movie. Like he was like super committed to the character, man. Filthy as fuck. I really enjoyed him a lot. I mean, there were, I guess to say that like there's some standouts within this great ensemble of great actors. I think one thing that always sticks out at me, like I think I noticed Dermot Mulroney's performance more this time, but like I think what's almost most memorable to me is Terrence Stamp in this movie. He was
great.
Like, I meant to say this a little while ago. We just lost him a few days ago. In fact, we lost him 12 days ago. He died.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's very, very in keeping.
That's very us.
It is.
The show. That's. I didn't hear a damn thing about it though. That's a bummer.
Yeah,
I know. Isn't that lame? I know.
Really?
I just happened to pull up the IMDb, and then I popped over to him because I was interested in finding some other piece of information out, or I think I had remembered that maybe he had died, and it said August 17th, and I was like, God damn, dude, what? Really?
Wow.
So yeah,
he's great, dude.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome, dude. He's been in a few things that we've done.
His Xavier School thing here, like I would have watched that movie.
Yeah,
these kids under his wing.
The thing, like, as I did some reading about this and watching a few things, like it turns out that like the actual John Tunstall was much younger. He was like 21.
He was like 20
or 24.
like,
he was actually younger than all of his regulators.
Everyone except for Billy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they changed that around for the movie,
which kind of makes sense in a way. Like I kind of like the mentor thing.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense too. So, but I think stretching, the whole Xavier thing into something a little bit more, spending a little bit more time on that, like just a little bit, man. Like because you start getting some good character bonding going on, with Tunstall and the boys, you know, with the dinner and like teaching them how to read in proper manners and all that. And you're like, okay, like this is cool, you know, and then it ends too quick, you know, like I think every time Tunstall gets shot, I'm like, wow, really already? You know,
Yeah,
because it's like, it's
it.
fairly
Already
early.
is it.
Yeah. You're like, what already? You know?
Fucking January 1st, man. Whatever year it was.
Yeah.
But just to make sure, just to make room for all of the really well thought out plot development that happens after he dies, you know? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I had something a second ago, but
Let me say something about Jack Palance while you're digging for that.
Dude, that guy's a badass.
Jack Palance is awesome. Like, I grew up on Ripley's Believe It or Not with this guy, and I'm sure Ben did too to an extent. Like, it's just, that's what I know him from, man. And he was just so weird, and like, that was his hook, was how just kind of bizarre he was, you know? But it was cool. He was also very menacing, dude, as Murphy, you know, like pretty menacing, pretty tyrannical. And I like that. I mean, he was, you know, perfectly cast, you know. I don't know. I just miss that guy. I miss actors like that too, you know. Like we get James Coburn in the next one, and you know, he's gone too. So what were you gonna say there?
Coburn's great too. But yeah, I mean, he's like he was already like a staple of like Westerns too. So
exactly, man.
You know, he's got a Jack Palance. He's like the Western Vincent Price.
Ooh, I like
he is. Yeah, you're right about that.
Like he's just got this like kind of menacing vibe.
Yeah. So the gilded Earl finally speaks.
Yeah.
Or the belted. That's right, belted Earl.
Yeah.
His
great, man.
Trivia section is pretty interesting, man. I didn't know anything about the guy. He was born Vladimir Pelechnyuk of Ukrainian, Polish, and Estonian descent. So, like, I love that he was like the most hardcore Ukrainian dude ever. Used to be a boxer, went into World War II, got out of World War II, and became an actor. Like, he just sounds like the most hardcore fucking dude. So, I don't know. I think it's like these kind of guys are so badass because they just went through the shit in World War II and are, you know, come out and they're like, yeah, I'll do some fucking acting. You want me to be a tough guy? No problem.
Sure. Well, you know what? There's a lot of guys did that. Like, you know, have you ever heard, like, there's a video I've come across twice on YouTube, like a little short about Christopher Lee's life. You know, Christopher Lee that played Saruman.
Yeah. I remember an anecdote with Jackson about getting stabbed.
That guy is a legit badass, dude.
I love that.
I mean, like, he served in the war. He got shot. He got stabbed. He got all of this kind of shit. He did all kinds of cool, interesting shit. Like, saved people's lives for real. Like, he was a hero, dude. Just crazy.
It's
you know,
crazy.
like that's what this kind of reminds me of. And then it's like, oh, and then he goes into acting. You know what I mean? Like, similar to Palance, I guess.
There's a stupid nugget in Palance's trivia. I don't know why I like this, and it's probably going to fall flat, but just seeing his headshot in IMDb, he just looks like the old grandpa who, like, you know, fought Nazis with a knife in his teeth, and like just says he once fell asleep in his square during Hollywood Squares taping, and I just love the idea of him just kind of like nodding off. Just like, this is so fucking boring. I don't know. I just love that.
And then what? Like, and then he wakes up and there's like all these little attendants are like, Jack, what happened? You fell asleep.
Mr. Palance.
I needed a nap.
It's so great.
I'm sorry. I needed a nap.
God damn. Exactly.
And like, even that, like, he was... I kind of feel like him getting shot like 100 yards away with a pistol was into the forehead where he turns to the camera. I kind of felt flat for me.
It's a little anticlimactic. It's kind of like, really, dude?
Like Billy rides off and they're like, oh, he's running away. And then he just comes back around the corner like, bam, he's just shot, you know? It's like, oh, all right.
Fool you.
Yeah. Psych.
Well, it's just... It's just too, like, I don't know. It's so I mean, this is so nerdy to nitpick, but I mean, it's true. Like, it's so hard to make a pistol shot like that, especially back then with those pistols at that kind of
It was like
range,
80 yards or some shit.
and yeah, and then on top of that, it's like, it would look a lot cooler if you did it with like a 30-30 or whatever,
Or just be closer.
Yeah.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, like a Henry rifle.
Yeah, exactly. Like from Silverado.
Turn his head into a proper canoe.
Well, there you have it, folks. Proper
little
canoe.
Ketchup stain on the forehead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also like the you're shot in the head, but you like stay upright for like a full minute and like, look at everybody in disbelief.
Yeah, do your taxes before you fall over dead.
Yeah, take one last Jack Palance breath.
Yeah, not likely. Just fall down and it's over.
And then that's it. You die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remembered what I was thinking of before, but then I discovered some other stuff. But I will just go forward and say I had no idea that it was Casey Siemaszko who is quoted at the beginning of Warren G's Regulate.
Oh, totally. I didn't either.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. Yeah.
That was a very formative track for our group of white bread idiots in the high school party days.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's completely unrecognizable to me here. Like, when we were talking last week about 3 o'clock high, I was like, oh yeah, no, like nerdy kid in his sweater, like right on. Oh, he's in Young Guns, right on. And then just watch this, and even after watching the 3 o'clock high last week or whatever, I was just like, oh yeah, there he is, all fucking dirty.
Yeah, stealing his bride from her quinceañera.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just so weird.
Jesus, yeah,
it's so weird. Let's bits and bobs it to the end, man.
In the process, Alice Carter,
cool.
Yen Sun. I thought I recognized her, but maybe I just know her from this because she's done like almost nothing else really. She strikes me.
Yeah,
as,
I know.
I don't know. Recognizable.
What? Familiar?
I don't know why. Yeah, I kind of like the Kiefer Sutherland Doc infatuation thing and him like reading her poetry. She's like, what the fuck did you just say? He's like, oh, it's poetry. Like, I kind of like how lame sauce it is and like kind of charming it is or sweet or whatever, but it also like,
yeah,
I just don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of interesting.
You mean that whole thread?
Well,
yeah.
He's kind of I don't know, like overbearing. Like he just sort of decides that like, oh, we danced one time, so you're into me.
Not even, by the way. Oh, no, they did. And then, that's right. You're right. They did. Sorry.
Like, and he just kind of inserts himself into like, not that it was a good situation for her with Jack Palance, but
no.
Like, he just kind of like thrusts himself in there.
Yeah.
For better or worse. And that's like his obsession for the whole fucking film is just,
Well, look, I get why they did it, right? Like it shows, it starts to fill out the character and round out the character, right? And show you like what his real kind of motivation is and all this kind of thing, right? But ultimately, in a crowded movie like this, it really should have just gone, in hindsight for me anyway. Like it was one of the only things that kind of wrapped up, but they should have cut it out in favor of just more of the core story. I think when you stepped away, we were talking about that a little bit, Benny, how, this is based on historical events and you have such a great core story based, a lot of these characters are actual people, and they just kind of strayed too far from it, and that's a good example of that. I mean, maybe that could have been part of the actual story, but regardless of whether it was or not, I think in a crowded space like this, you should have just cut it in favor of sticking to the core story. The core story was them getting revenge for Tunstall, right? So ultimately killing Murphy would be the sort of ultimate objective. And then it's like getting all the men that were involved in that posse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, just to add to that, they should have spent a little bit more time on his death, because it was like they're at the party on New Year's, and then it's like the next morning and they're riding home, and he's like, "Oh, go be a boy and frolic in the grass." And then like he gets shot. Like all those guys just appear out of nowhere, and they do like an establishing shot there, and you see that it's a fairly wide open area that they're traveling through. So I don't know. Again, same. I keep coming back to the same thing. They should have just kind of stuck to these core story elements, the things that were important, like spent a little more time on the Tunstall death, a little more time on this and that, cut the doc thing with the girl, and like, shit.
I would have cut like 6 of the action sequences before I cut the doc thing with the girl, but I see what you're driving at. I'm kind of glad there weren't like 7 girlfriends in this movie too, though. Like that could have easily have been a thing.
Sure. I could have cut some of the action sequences and the thing with the girl. You know what I mean? In favor of focusing on other story elements. I'm saying if they were able to reshoot, rewrite it, whatever, write it differently.
This is totally out of nowhere, but
sure.
Have you guys ever been gotten by the Onion back in the day? Like, I remember way, way, way back in the early Onion days, I read an Onion article and thought it was a real newspaper and was like super like, what the fuck about it? And I was in New York later with a friend of the show, Sam King. And it was when they had the paper printed Onions like in the newspaper things. And so I knew at that time that the Onion was like a piss take newspaper, but he had never encountered it before. And the front page of the Onion was like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are remaking what's the fuck?
Matrix?
No, it was fucking
Star Wars, but with pink lightsabers.
I'm totally blowing this joke. What was the fucking Jewish girl that like hides out in an attic fucking book?
Anne Frank?
Anne Frank. It's like it was it was Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are making the Diary of Anne Frank, and then it cuts to them. They're like, yeah, except there's 2 of us and we have boyfriends. And Sam was so and Sam thought it was real, and he was so mad that they were fucking up the Diary of Anne Frank. That
that's just, I mean,
they could do it, But I was thinking,
if you thought it was real, getting mad about it would be the correct.
Totally. But it came to mind for me because I was thinking about this movie and I was just like, I'm so glad there weren't like 6 girlfriends. And I was just like, yeah, except there's 2 of us. Do we have boyfriends? And I just thought like, I don't know, this could have totally gone that way of like all the different love interests. And I thought that for sure there'd be a fucking Arquette in here or something.
Spice lattes.
Yeah. So did you guys ever encounter the idea of like misunderstanding that the Onion was a piss take when it was like a printed newspaper? Because it was really funny, man.
Yeah.
God damn, it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
I think the first time I encountered it, I was like, what? And then I was like, wait a minute. Like,
this has to be a piss take. Like Mad
I had to
Magazine.
like search like the Onion, and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
For real.
But yeah, for a minute, I was like, what the?
Yeah, totally, man.
I was like, well, this is either like the Inquirer, at the
like Bat Boy has been found kind of thing.
Yeah. This is either like Sun or fucking the Inquirer or whatever, like, or it's like satire.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I forget what it was, but it was a ridiculous story. It was like, yeah.
But now that we're moving towards AI being able to generate a movie, I think a Mary-Kate, Ashley Olsen, and Frank would be quite funny.
With boyfriends.
With boyfriends.
And
so that has nothing to do with this movie, but it reminded me of that.
Nice.
What's Nuggets?
Okay, yeah. I kind of dropped a lot of the ones that I really liked. There was quite a bit.
There's a lot.
I'll just for now I'll just go with the casting one. Sean Penn was originally cast as Billy. Patrick Swayze was also originally cast, but wanted to distance himself from the Brat Pack because he had done a few movies with those people, as he put it. So,
right on.
Those are kind of interesting choices, you know.
The regulators.
I don't think would have worked.
Was the best nugget, I think.
Which one is that?
The G dog tissue, connective tissue.
Yeah, that's a good one. I read this in the Nuggets, so I'm going to say this. Like, there was a guy named George Coe, an actual guy, not the actor that played Woodhouse on freaking Archer, but it was an actual friend of Tunstall's named George Coe who was part of the regulators. And it would have been cool to see him. Apparently, there was 11. Excuse me. Apparently, there were 11 regulators originally, and they cut it down to, 7, 6.
I'm glad they did,
but it would have been it would have been
done
cool.
Anymore.
I know, I couldn't have either. Shit. I wish they had included the George Coe guy who was a friend of Tunstall's. Like, it would have been
friend of Tunstall. Whatever. Yeah, totally.
I am now friend of Tunstall.
Son of friend of Tunstall. We should nugget briefly to the peyote scene. We kind of breezed past that, and it's too good to not just shout it out.
Yeah,
again.
Sure.
Even just like the voice where they're like, everyone's got a deep voice. There's chicken in the cave. And like all this crazy ass shit. I love that, man. It kind of turned into a comedy.
Dirty Steve stole the show in that one, really.
With the chicken?
You guys see the size of that fucking chicken?
Yeah. Blasting off shotgun rounds.
Just blasting fucking bullets around the place. I love Emilio Estevez
like rolling through the Indian camp.
Yeah.
We're in a spirit world, asshole. They can't see us.
They can't see us. Dude, I have so thoroughly lived that fucking bad trip on Martha's Vineyard. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, man. I thought, I liked Doc's butterfly thing. I thought that was funny.
She's my butterfly. I'm her butterfly.
Yeah.
But she's my... it's like such a perfect line of dialogue for fucking tripping your face off. You know, we say the same shit over and over.
Absolutely.
And, over.
And like Casey Shamashko standing up and stretching and then barfing everywhere.
Fucking puking everywhere. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Emilio backwards on the horse just being like, howdy, hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah. Yeah. But he again, like, God, I don't know. I'm saying this, I guess, because I'm finding it more irritating since we started talking about it, is that he just comes across as a one-dimensional wanker asshole in this movie. You know, it's like that's like his only setting is like to act like a snarky jerk and make jokes and like stick his gun in people's faces. You know, I don't know, it's just upsetting.
And go like, it's like
and then shoot you. It's like he's Deadpool. Like
it is
like
actually
self-aware and like the old wet, you know, he's like, I'm gonna make a name for myself.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and he does.
And he does. And he did.
And he did.
That old William H. Bonney.
Recommendations. I would recommend you don't go back to this one.
Firstly, we got to do deaths. Secondly, you're dead for skipping deaths again.
Yeah.
Hold on, I wanted to just touch like go immediately after that is the spot where Brian Keith shows up to try and ice all of them, and it's just the most ridiculous thing.
That was
he's
so
just, like,
ridiculous.
In the open, and he's just like lacing them up, and then like he goes into like the shitter, and like but they just can't pin him down for some reason,
which is just bizarre.
In the shitter,
so stupid.
50 bullets go through the shitter.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like those things were heavily armored, like, you know.
But, like, yes, thank you for correcting me. I'll take another death for rushing through to the end because, you know, was it Schindler's List or something where there's, like, the concentration camp guys jump into the shitters to escape the Nazis or something? I feel like the only way that Brian Keith can survive all those bullets is like he's actually in the shitter, like popping his head and rifle out and like shooting from the bowl. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way that this works.
Oh, he's actually like sitting in the actual shit.
He's in the shit. You know what I mean?
Maybe. That's more
which is even
anything,
worse.
But,
you know, it's just like what? Come on. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I mean, the thing that was disappointing was like that was right around the time when everything really started coming unraveled. Like, because they talk about that guy, his name was Buckshot Bailey, I believe.
Roberts, Buckshot Roberts.
Buckshot Roberts, sorry. And, he rides up and then they go to meet him. And they're like, we've got a warrant for your arrest. Like the whole scene opens.
They're all just
right. The whole scene opens great. And I love how he's like, just got that, like, I've done this a million times. I'm old, kind of like, all right, let's dance. And he just gets down on one knee and just starts blasting, man. Like, he does not care. And, so it opens really good. And then that whole scene quickly falls apart. That whole
really does.
Outhouse thing was just dumb. It's like you see the barrel of the rifle shooting Dick. And then it's like, okay, where did the guy go? They never got him. They never said what happened to him. Like,
they never said what happened to him. Two of them get shot, and like nothing ever becomes of it. Like nobody gets gangrene.
But they all run away. The guy's pinned down in a bathroom. Like, light a cigarette and flick it at the fucking toilet. Like, oh my god, dude!
Well,
let's gotta get out of here, man. Fucking, let's go.
They're behind giant piles of lumber, like full logs.
Yeah,
there's no way they're getting hit
somehow. And he's in a fucking outhouse that's like made out of like thin planks, and like somehow they can't.
Yeah, you can't get him.
Can't make
the
it
shit,
happen.
Benny.
They can't hit him.
Covered in shit.
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that kind of is. I think. I don't know. I think you can confirm that the shark was jumped at that point.
That's like a classic movie war scene, or like the fucking leaders like fucking Dirty Steve, go over there behind that tree, we'll cover you, and then fucking start lacing up that fucking thing, and then you fucking you go over here and do that, and then like while you guys are doing that, cover me, and I'm gonna fucking run behind the thing and drop a grenade in it, like it's just like there's
okay, Tom Sizemore.
like, but like, none of that happens. They're just like, oh, fuck!
Kaczynski, you go over there and fuck them. We'll stay here and masturbate.
Exactly.
It's fucking Jocko Doyle. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, shot!
You fucking got me, dude. You got me.
Yeah.
Okay, so deaths then. Holy fucking shit.
Well, sadly, this movie sort of died. But
died.
Chad, you had all three of the deaths, dude.
Did I?
Okay. I gave you three. You have a Dermot Mahoney death because you kept mispronouncing his name.
Yeah, it's because I got a mouthful of chaw. I was saying it properly. You just couldn't understand it.
Right. It was your chaw, right? And then you had this. You had the skipping death's death, and then the rushing through to the end death.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Joke's on you. I was having a stroke when I mispronounced his name over and over again.
Joke's on you. I was dying, Kev. Yeah, so that's that.
Doesn't it smell like burnt toast, you guys?
Yeah, it's because the 800-degree oven just burnt my fucking toast.
Yeah. That would vaporize the toast. I would recommend this movie. I mean, despite the fact that I felt differently about it on this watch, like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you have, I don't know, go watch it and see if some of the things that we... Hold on. Yeah, well, sure, but like if you haven't, or if you have seen it, go back and watch it with some of the things that we pointed out and see if you feel differently. I don't know. That's it. But I would still recommend it. It's still a great classic movie. I just like it a little bit less.
Yeah, it's fair. I don't know. I kind of would say don't revisit this. I'd say go watch Silverado.
That's fair. Yeah, if I was picking between the two, I'd say Silverado for sure.
Yeah, go watch Tombstone.
Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah, Dirty Steve kind of has, a similar level of gravitas in a very different way, mind you, as like a Val in Tombstone.
Sure.
Kind of carries a lot of the weight.
One of the things that was kind of annoying to me was that, like, we talked about how in Silverado, like, everybody was really clean, in that way that they used to do in Westerns, and it wasn't until the modern era that we get to see how dirty people really were back then. This movie rides the line. Like, Dirty Steve himself and a couple of other people are filthy, like, the whole movie. And then there's other people like Billy himself who are just, like, squeaky clean. You can, like, literally see how clean their hair is. Like, when it's being, the wind is blowing through it. Like, I was just like, wow, what the, like, pick one,
I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't need to see how fucking filthy people were back then.
Dirt McGurk. Yeah, that's fair.
I presume, but like, I don't need to actually see that.
I guess I like it for realism, but
Dirty
I get what you're
Steve did
saying.
it pretty hard though.
He was dirty, dude, chaw and all.
Yeah,
stinky leather crotch.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Slab, what are we doing next week?
Benny's got a gig next week, so we will be toofing. Last time we were chatting about Hannah and stuff, we talked about a few things. Tinker Tailor, hard espionage is next week.
So that's
Did you say you
Tinker
hadn't
Tailor
seen it or
Soldier
just didn't
Spy.
remember it?
I started it 5 times and fell asleep every time. I'm dying to sit and watch it. So this is good. I can't wait to watch it. Actually,
yeah. I watched it within the last year, and it's good.
Well, it's got a cadre of like the best British actors in it. So
good
I can't
use
wait to
of
see it.
cadre.
Right. So what's going on?
Excellent.
So there you have it, folks. Next week, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Chad and Kev Twofer. Benny will be away, and then when we come back, probably Killing Them Softly or whatever. Chad and I will confirm it next week. And that's it. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody, as usual, for this interesting discussion about Young Guns. And that's it. I'm saying goodbye.
And I am shot down in a blaze of glory.
Toodles.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or on our website, evd.fm/episodes/318. We love everybody that supported us all these years in the many ways you've done so. If you would like to support the show, listen
you
to
would
my
like to
voice
buy Kev a glass
decay.
of water, make a donation.
Right, give me a glass of water or some throat spray. You can do so by directly contributing to us on Patreon.
To buy Kev some
Halls.
Ludens.
A stick of Halls.
I was going to say a Halls Mentholyptus.
Stole chocolate Reese and Mrs. Lang. What about Ricola? Get some Ricola for you, dude.
Some Ricolas.
Ricola!
Yeah. How many times did you shout that off of a fucking ski lift back in the day? I did it a lot.
Exactly, man.
Such a fucking motherfucker.
So anyway, if you want to
tasty herbal drops made with Swiss Alpine herbs this week, brought to you by Ricola.
Ricola.
Get us some
episode.
To get me
318.
Ricola.
Fucking horn of
Can't
Gondor.
even fucking get. I cannot even get through this. You guys are too funny.
That's it. I'm done. Fucking Patreon. I'm out. Later.
I'm not angry at all, dude. It's nothing like that. It's just funny. I keep opening my mouth and you guys keep mining that Ricola thing for more. Don't stop now. Anyway, so as Chad and Ben, I think, accentuated the point, if you would like to get me some cough drops or us some cough drops, you can contribute directly on Patreon. You can also tell people to check out the show. You can also write a review for us. That's very helpful. That's it. If you want to join us on social, we're on Instagram. You know where we're at. Thanks for joining us for Young Guns. We'll see you next week for the twofer. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I love it when everybody wakes up at the end of the show.
Well, we're done.
So fun.
Bye, guys.
So fantastic.
We're going to cartwheel around my
living room.
We'll see you
next week, guys. So long for now, folks.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.